Yes, people's Keish and Prince are there. I'm doing the fullbacks game realistic technical drills. Let's get to it. So as you know, my previous video I did wingers realistic drills, what you need to be doing. As I see a lot of people, been training, working hard, and I respect the grind, but you ain't got a lot of time to be doing things that's not going to be translated into games. So as you know, just like the previous video, you're going to be breaking it down in 3 parts. So we're going to work on what you need to do in the first third, second third, and the final third drill. So let's go with the first third as a fullback. One of the things that you need to be able to do as a fullback, similar to a winger, is to have good retention ability when you're won back possession. So you need to be able to have good feet to be able to do drags and rolls in order to prevent the winger from taking the ball, and also to delay time for your teammates to get into space to provide an angle for you to pass after you regain possession or when you've been passed the ball under pressure. The next bit you need to do is have sharp turns to turn out away from danger. So say if you're going to go down the line and the fullback's trying to, block you, the winger's trying to block you from clearing the ball, you need to be able to do a quick Cruyff turn or a chop inside. So you need to have good ability. So Cruyff turns, step over turns, fake shots like shot dummies or pass dummies are very good. Next one, you need to be able to receive the ball in the instep, so open up your body to receive. I see this touch a lot of times at non-league level when the ball bobbling over players' feet, especially when you're fatigued and tired. It's one of those ones where you can get very lazy and sloppy, and people can blame the pitch, but it's no excuse. You need to be watching the ball, and you need to be able to get that inset, open up your body. It's really about the body. So you need to be practicing doing about 500 passes a day, about passing and receiving, open up your body doing that. And then you know to do it in the outside. So if you receive the ball, you need to do the outside of the foot touch, kind of like what Patrice Evra used to do all the time in Manchester United to open up his body. Very good also touch you do to have in your locker. The next one also is off the ball movement. So you need to be able to practice in pulling out, dropping back, creating the angles. So what you could do is get squares, and whatever the color, you can get switched on app, or whatever the color tells you, it says red or yellow, you need to learn how to turn out, pull out, go forward, step in. These positions are very important when you're playing as a fullback, and any other position, but as a fullback it's really important because one, you need to know how to create an angle to provide support, in the right side, for example, if you're right back, to provide support for the inside midfielder and the fullback and centre back and so on. Let's go into the second part, so in the middle area. So this will be 2 parts. So not a lot of people play inverted, but I'm putting in there, if you're playing inverted, that you need to be able to have good ability to pass and receive 2 touch. Tomiyasu, you can see at Arsenal, for example, Kieran Tierney has struggled to get into the side because he can't adapt as yet into Arteta's philosophy of putting the fullbacks inside to create an overload. And so obviously Tomiyasu has been able to adapt. Shevchenko, as you know, is really good at doing that. Tierney has struggled in this area. So you need to be able to be comfortable in going inside and playing. So again, to be fair, you should be doing 2,000 passes a day. That's a bare minimum if you're not playing. And if you want to get sharp at your passing, 1,000 passes a day on the wall, 2 touch, bam, 2 touch. Try and complete that in 10 minutes. It's a good workout as well, and it just gets get you good at basics, 10 yards. So passing ability. Next through as well, which is very good about inverted, is when you're going inside, is you need to be able to run through traffic. So again, dribbling, it could be when you bounce the ball off the wall and you're driving through traffic, very important. You can see Daniel Alves in this video, if you've been watching, he's very good at going through traffic. Hakim, as you know, very good at doing that. Very good at going through traffic, dribbling with the ball. Basically, a winger and a fullback is no really different except for just the quality of the finishing, to be fair. Daniel Alves was actually a winger before he solidified that as his main position, but we digress. Next one, as an outside and a second part, is you need to have good one-touch passings. What I mean by that, especially when you do a throw-on and the ball gets played into you first time, sometimes you need to be able to bounce that first time. And I see a lot of times where a lot of people, if you look at your game, that's usually where a lot of people's weak places is as a fullback, is where the ball gets played back on the throw so quickly under pressure and banging that first time, to the fullback at the back or to the winger down the line. Or all you do is be able to control the ball 2 touch. So playing it 1 touch and do 2 touch passing is very important as a fullback as well, to be a wall for the winger. Next one is your crossing ability from deep, so floating across it. Sometimes you've got to be able to switch the ball. Cafu and Roberto Carlos used to do this on a regular basis. You know, they used to just, Roberto Carlos effortlessly, whoom, one time, Cafu, whoom. Them two, I've never seen fullbacks as much as those two play so much, you know, passes when they used to play in Brazil together in a game. It's just crazy. Just to switch the ball and switch the play. So I think this is missing as well in football. I feel that a lot of players or wing fullbacks love to try and play, and you know, if it's on, they'll just play that side, but you need to be able to switch it up. The next one is to be running back sideways, which is important, because why I say that is you need to be able to run quickly backwards and to be able to jockey at the same time, if that makes sense. So when I mean running backwards, I'm not talking about when your back is facing your goal. I'm talking about sideways as a lateral running as a jockey. Very important, because, you know, look at, for example, we know Trent has been caught out a lot of times for this, so it's something you need to be working on. The third part and the last part is the low crossing ability. So just like you saw in that video there, Dani Alves is very good at playing the ball first time across the box, or two touch minimum across the box, across the 6-yard box, where it's an easy tapping for the striker. You need to be able to do cutbacks, and you need to be able to do floating crosses, and you need to be able to do two touch combinations. If you study Dani Alves, you will see majority of what I'm saying is in his video, especially in this one. You know, he's a great model to look at for fullback. So I hope these make sense. Let me know in the comments. Let's go.